New data from the Fed shows the average credit card carrying American has around $5,700 in debt. And that same report shows the average interest rates on that piece of plastic is hovering around 20%, meaning you're paying more for whatever you charge. So I turned to a credit expert with Experian to help you tackle those payments. Christina Roman tells me there are really just two common approaches for reducing debt, right? The avalanche method, where you pay the card with the highest amount or rate first, or the snowball method, tackling the smallest balance to really build momentum for the larger ones. It's really whatever works for you. The key, though, is to never miss a minimum payment at minimum. Missing a billing cycle means that impacts your credit score for up to 7 years.
So what are some key steps people can maybe start taking now to really start tackling this credit card debt?
So if you want to tackle your credit card debt, it's really important to get a complete understanding of how much debt you're currently in. I always recommend that people get a copy of their credit report as well as their FICO score or credit score in general. Experian offers your Experian credit report and your FICO score for free monthly. Now, this is a great tool because when you get your credit score, it's going to tell you what factors are helping or hurting your credit score. It's also going to help you, looking at your credit report is also going to help you to get a complete picture of your current debt situation.
Christina tells me once you do pay off a card, try not to cancel it completely. She says the reason why is because on a credit report, it actually reduces your overall available credit. So it actually looks like you're carrying more debt because your available credit is lower. So she tells me just to cut the card or take it out of your digital wallet so you're not tempted to use it, but try not to cancel it.
Let's go.
Yeah, this video touched on a couple of different things. At first I was thinking I wanted to focus on credit cards, which is a major part of, a major effect on your credit score. But I think I want to talk about credit a little bit in general. After watching this video in full, yeah, I think it's true. Especially in our community, we see credit cards as a means of not to say free money, but we think it's like it's just an instant loan, if you will, that we can just go out and buy the things we tend to use it to buy the things we want and not the things we need. I think credit cards should be only utilized for two reasons: one, in extreme emergency situations, and two, to help build your credit. Y'all know I always like to give an anecdote. So the way I got into using my first credit card, it was about 2016, I believe, and I was, of age now to rent a car. So I just needed a car for like a short trip, and I applied on. I was with Bank of America at the time, still am, but I just applied for a Bank of America credit card right in there. I didn't know where else to go to. So based on my credit at the time, they instantly approved me for like a $300 credit line, and they sent it was like next day they just sent it to me. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. I just put in some information and they just sent me some money.
Right.
But
Shit.
but like I said, I just needed to rent a car. I had the money to rent a car, but I couldn't use a debit card at the time. They don't really. It's a lot of BS when it comes to using debit cards to rent cars. I wouldn't recommend it. But I got that credit line just to rent that car. $300. That's how it began. Far as credit, I'm just being candid. I'm being open with the audience. I have had one late payment on my credit since like. In my credit
History.
occurring history, and that was like right when I was leaving out of college, and I was late on one student loan by like a day, and my credit wasn't good then, so it wasn't nothing to me. But having that late payment on anything on your credit score does, it like they said, it does impact it a lot. But here's the thing. I didn't realize if you keep making the minimum payments, uh, consistently and on time, they increase your credit line without you asking. So
Mm-hmm.
that 300, like 6 months later, turned to 500. I was like, oh shoot. I ain't go out and buy nothing or anything. But I was like, okay, I would like maybe buy lunch maybe once a week with it just to show, the creditors that I'm using it. But I could pay that back off immediately and just to help build my credit. And it was slowly working. My credit, the more I kept making on the time payments, my credit was slowly creeping up from like the low 600s and going up. And then 6 months later, it went to 800 and then 1100 and then 4100 and 7100. I mean, I remember all the intervals because I remember what I was doing at the time. But that's just crazy to think, the mindset. Yeah, what would your mind do if you just saw, based on you can get caught up in your emotions or whatnot. You saw, hey, all of a sudden, my creditor gave me a $3,000 more to use.
Mm-hmm.
I never abused my credit card. I would say I abused my credit card one time, and it was my 32nd birthday in 2021. Pandemic restrictions lighting up, and I took myself, my two brothers, and my cousin to Vegas. When I say I took us to Vegas, I paid for damn near everything with my credit card. And y'all seen on my Instagram and my Facebook, that was the weekend where I rented this fancy ass car. That was financially irresponsible as hell. And not only did I rent one, I rented two cars. It was just financially irresponsible. And till this day on that credit card, I'm still trying to pay that shit off because, like I said, I had the money at the time, but I hesitated to like pay it right back because I was FOMOing into stocks and investments because the markets were, really volatile with the quantitative easing that was going into the markets. So, I was chasing stocks and stuff, and I got burnt to the point where now this is just a bill I have that I have to pay monthly because I lost some money in the stock market. So I should have put that money directly on the credit card. And till recently, I was still paying that debt off for like 3 years. One, it's good to do stuff for people, but don't overextend yourself, because I took my brothers and my cousin out there thinking they needed it. And then when we come back, they doing more of the same things, shout out to them. But at the time they were doing more of the same things and I felt slighted. I was like, that was for nothing because I felt like maybe that would charge them up to get them going in their endeavors and whatnot and, inspire them to do bigger things. But
shine. Get your shine on. Get your shine on, shout it.
Yeah. So, I put this on. I put it on everywhere. Booty cheeks, kneecaps, underarms. I got the vanilla right here. Usually, I got the lavender one. It helped me sleep good because I be sleeping like this, and I can smell it off my hands. I'm trying to tell you, feeling good. Y'all better rock with this.
Right.
It's that vanilla. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't being ashy no more. Hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene is important. You need to get your shine. It's hydrating. It's light. It lasts all day. You don't got to use a lot, and it's good from face to foot.
Historically, I don't really use lotion or nothing like that because I'm like in a hybrid, light skin, in between dark skin motherfuckers. Coming back from vacation, I'm a little sunburnt, so I needed something to get my skin back right because I'm feeling like a reptile right now. So I'm gonna get this baby going on when I get home.
Oh, hey, look, you gotta shine on, everybody. Look, I got like 4 cases. I got a bunch of cases. And I got the big jar too. That's old school. Y'all don't even know about that. He don't even got those no more. But look, I'm telling y'all, this shine is amazing. Help with eczema, clear your skin up, all of that great stuff. So you don't want to miss out on this shine, man. Make sure y'all go get y'all a bottle of this.
All natural ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yep. Where they can find it?
So you can find this at shinecareproducts.com. Let them know that we sent you. Use the code FMF20, get you a discount.
Got to.
At the time, I didn't feel like that benefited them. So I was like, why did I do that? Never again. Never again. I'm talking a long time, but we're going to spend some time on this. That McLaren I rented was $1,900 for one day. And after taxes and fees, it was $2,700. So I spent $2,700 with a credit card on one car. And not to mention the car I had for the 4 days we were there was a Porsche Taycan, which I rented through the Enterprise at the airport, but that was like another $1,400. So almost, I'm not bad, I'm not good at math. You know, after plus what I already had on my credit card, I had like over $5,000 or that 5,700. It was about that 5,700, that average debt that
Yeah.
the man said Americans were in. I was that average person at that time, and it's true. It's I would all in all, I say that to say with credit cards, I don't think you should only use them if you actually have the cash for these purchases in your account and you can pay it back right away. You know, you show the creditor, hey, I made this large payment, but I could pay it back, almost instantly. I'm good for it, and that helps your credit score. Um, and then all in all, credit, like I said, don't be late on payments. And with credit cards, paying the minimal payment is like it's kind of like with student loans, right? You're gonna be paying more interest. I think it's 20% on purchases or whatnot. You're gonna be paying more interest on over time than what your actual debt is. So say that 5,700 will turn over the court if you're paying the minimum payment. Let's say your payment is like between $150 and $200 with $5,700 in debt. Your that over time that 5,700 turns to almost like $10,000 that you're paying because you're just making the minimum payment. So I would encourage maybe paying double your minimum payment each month on your credit cards if you can to get that balance down. Like I said, because interest just eats away at 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 your principal. You paying towards the principal. And secondly, I would say, um, damn, I had so many thoughts in my head as I was going along. What else
Yeah,
I was
you
going to say about?
rolling.
Yeah, what else was I going to say about credit cards? It's really fucking with me because I had some good shit to tell y'all. It just
You do?
escaped me like that. I used to be a pothead, y'all, and that's some of the side effects still there with my short term memory.
You said 2,000 for one car?
2,700 for that McLaren for a day.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
2,700. I'd do it again, damn it. But I just wouldn't. I would have paid. Like I said, the difference I would have made. I would have paid that money right back. Soon as I, got back home and whatnot.
You should have just did it faster. That's all.
Yeah, I would have just did it faster. What else I was gonna say with credit cards? I said pay. Y'all go ahead. It might come back to me, but this is really bothering me. I had a good tidbit for y'all, but y'all go ahead. What do y'all think about credit card usage, one in our culture and just in America today? Not all at once.
To get my thoughts together.
Like, do y'all use credit card? Do y'all use credit cards?
All right, I'll go ahead, jump in the ring. Yes, I've had a similar experience. When nobody, the only thing I was really told is stay away from credit as I was growing up. But then I was like, you need credit for credibility. That's what credit is for. And the credibility for lenders for any large purchases, or even nowadays they're looking at your credit for certain types of jobs. They're looking at your credit for approval for housing, not even just houses, but to get into apartments and stuff. Like, this just shows, this is the main thing that they use to show your track record of being able to pay. Right? Nobody explained that to me. I did have to learn that. And getting into credit, it was the same thing. I started off with a secure card with my bank. It's the difference between a secure card and an unsecured card. Basically, you put the amount, you contribute the amount. You are the lender under somebody else's name. Basically, you got to put the amount, pay for it, and put it there, and then it's used. That card is used as credit. It's a brief description. So then, when I did get credit, right, it was the same means. I was like, I just want to build. In order to build, you gotta show credibility. You gotta show that you can get debt and pay it off. Get debt and pay it off. And it's a game, right? And this one of them games that I'm like, I don't want to play, but I understand that you got to play the game, but it's a game that I don't want to play. And it's also a game where it's like, get on the other side of it. So my mentality was like, man, I need to start a goddamn credit card. I need Pratt Capital. I need to start a credit card. Fuck this. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you could attach an interest to is going to accrue you passive income. Anything that you could attach interest to, compound interest, you could accrue passive income, because that one purchase, as we've all exclaimed, that one purchase is going to, you're just making the minimum payments. You're going to keep on paying. You're going to have to keep paying, right? And it's like, dang, I gotta pay for this one purchase for how long? You know, like the interest always eats me up. And I have been one who misused credit cards, because then it's like, blow the bag, or like them times that I was out the country and I'm like, I'm completely disconnected. I don't even, I got an idea of what I got in my bank account. You know what? Let me not check. Let me not, mess with my bank account. I could just use the credit cards. I pay it when I get back. My problem when it comes to credit is not that I don't have the income to pay for whatever it is that I'm using the credit for. It does have that mentality of that free money. I do usually wind up like, okay, I'm gonna get gas with my credit card, and it's a gas credit card, right? A travel credit card. So I'm also getting miles. I'm also getting points and rewards. And it's all good stuff. Like I'm building, but then like I forget that I spent $30, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna make the minimum payment. Like I ain't missing a payment, but I'm like, I ain't pay back that 30. So that minimum, now I gotta factor in the interest and the amount that I spent, and I'm just making the minimum, and the minimum might cover that, but now what goes to the principal is much smaller. It's a much smaller amount. So I've had uh I've had to keep relearning this, because it's just automatic. Like when it comes to money, once I spend money, I'm done with it. That's usually my mentality. Like, it's done. I'm gonna make some more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't worried about it. But that's more of a debit type thing. So I don't be focused too much on payments, because once I spend, I'm done. I'm that type of person. Like, if I can't afford it, if I can't just buy it outright, then more than likely I don't need it type thing. You know? And we talk about something as small as gas, or something as sufficient as groceries, because them shit's not cheap no more. Um, so something that's sufficient as groceries. So let's say I spent $200 at the grocery store. I'm like, all right, that when I get home, I've already bought the groceries. I'm not thinking about making a payment. So what I would do now to get ahead of it is I set the budget. If I know I'm going to spend and I want to use this card, I'll go ahead and make the payment first, and then I'll make sure I won't spend outside of that budget. So it still either evens out, or I just paid more than what I spent, you know. But that's still trickery in that, because they're going to take the interest accrues on the purchases made, not the payments. So it's still trickery on that, and I'm still going to make the monthly payments on that as well. Um, yeah, credit cards has been interesting. It's been a lot of trial and error, and I'm glad that we're bringing this to the surface. We definitely gonna have to talk about this more, because this is where I see most of us are in debt. It ain't usually like everybody don't have student loans. A lot of people, their cars are paid off, or they never had a car note, or we talk about like rent and stuff. Like rent is a monthly expense. It's not so much as debt. You know what I'm saying? Like, so certain things, like the main acronym of debt is credit that I see. correct me if I'm wrong. You know, so
No, there's
we,
there's definitely good debt and bad debt. So debt can work in
yeah,
your favor when it comes to leveraging some things and whatnot. When you up there a little bit, but continue. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And inquiries, I'm gonna have to learn more about that. How inquiries could hurt. Um, and yeah, I'm still learning when it comes to credit, but I have been one to jump full fledged in. I put both feet first. Like, all right, let's go ahead and do this thing. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna learn through experience. Because who I wanted to learn from all had that fear mongering from protection out of love, like just don't mess with it. And it's like, well, that's not going to get me ahead. And another thing that we'll discuss furthermore is financial freedom. What does that actually look like? Credit is a big part of financial freedom. So a lot of people like to use that term loosely or talk about it. It's become one of those things that I call a trend. But when we actually discuss these things, let's actually talk about it. Let's talk about actual financial freedom. If you only focused on making money, then you're not going to be financially free. It's way more avenues to finances than just money.
True that. True that. You had so many um thought provoking things you said in your takes there, Trey. I gotta start writing stuff down, like you said. I need my pad because I have so much to react to. One, when you talked about interest being used as like passive income, I think you were talking about what's called peer to peer lending, which is another thing we can discuss at a later topic, far as forms of passive income that aren't that hard, and I think the average American could use to their advantage.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, back, man. So many thoughts. So many thoughts. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about talking about finances and whatnot. So I overexcite myself and I forget. I need my pen. I need my pen and pad. But another thing I wanted to mention, like Trey said,
Shine.
Get your shine on.
Get your shine on, shout it.
Yeah. So, hey, I put this on. I put it on everywhere. Booty cheeks, kneecaps, underarms. I got the vanilla right here. Usually, hey, I got the lavender ones. It helped me sleep good. 'Cause I be sleeping like this, and I can smell it off my hands. I'm trying to tell you, feeling good. Y'all better rock with this.
Right.
It's that vanilla. Yeah.
Listen, man, we ain't being ashy no more. Hygiene.
Yeah.
Hygiene is important. You need to get your shine. It's hydrating. It's light. It lasts all day. You don't got to use a lot, and it's good from face to foot.
Historically, I don't really use lotion or nothing like that because I'm like in a hybrid, light skin, in between dark skin motherfuckers. Coming back from vacation, I'm a little sunburnt. So I needed something to get my skin back right because I'm feeling like a reptile right now. So I'm gonna get this baby going on when I get home.
Oh, and look, you gotta shine on, everybody. Hey, look, I got like 4 cases. I got a bunch of cases. And I got the big jaw too. That's old school. Y'all don't even know about that. He don't even got those no more. But look, I'm telling y'all, this shine is amazing. Help with eczema, clear your skin up, all of that great stuff. So you don't want to miss out on this shine, man. Make sure y'all go get y'all a bottle of this.
All natural ingredients.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where they can find it?
So you can find this at shinecareproducts.com. Let them know that we sent you. Use the code FMF20, get you a discount.
Got to.
the minimum payments, the purchases you make on that credit card is where the interest is charged. So say you already have $5,700 in debt, you're making the minimum payments of like $150, but in between payments you're spending another $150 and paying that right back to get back to that same balance. You're then once you make that payment, it'll take that 150 from the amount, but then halfway through your billing cycle, it's going to charge you maybe like half of that back on your credit card because of what you spent in between while you have this outstanding balance. So I definitely would recommend like possibly paying, unless you have an emergency, paying off that balance or getting it where keeping your credit card usage under a certain percentage
Hmm.
of credit line use is what's more advantageous to your overall credit. I think the general unwritten rule of thumb is to keep your credit card usage below 30%.
30%.
And because that allows when you do that, it shows the creditors you're responsible with credit and money they give you, and it helps increase your credit score. And then furthermore, if you keep it under 10%, that's even better. Um, I was scrolling on my Credit Karma, and I was trying to find the things that affect your credit score. You touched on that too, Trey. You talked about inquiries and late payments or whatnot. Age of credit,
Hmm.
has an impact on your credit score. People think, nah, I'll just pay straight cash on me. I'll just keep cash on me. Cash is
Hmm.
not king. Cash is not king in the big where the big boys play. Cash is not king. Um, I think you'll once you pass like 9 years of credit history, that's where you become into the great tier. Good is like 7 to 9, and then they have sub tiers, but 9 is where they consider your credit age like excellent, which is always best. Hard inquiries, they do have an effect on your credit score. I'm talking about like when I purchased my car, you know, they those people selling you a car go try to put like three different loans in your face, and every time they go bring you a new loan, that's another hard inquiry. And I think they have incentive to do that. I think they make a little bit money off that too.
Hmm.
Um, they hard inquiries. I want to say the two I had when I purchased my car in 2016 took my credit like I was about to touch 700. I was at like 695, and that those two hard inquiries brought my credit score back down to like 645 or something like that.
Mm.
So which you like, oh, it's only 50 when you got a 600 something credit score, but it takes so much more to build that back up. But credit card
Hmm.
usage helped. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk. I'm all over the place, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Another thing I wanted to talk about is if you have poor credit, right, and you need a little bit of help getting that credit score, help boosting that credit score. This is not financial advice. I meant to say that like at the beginning of the show. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. None of what we say is financial advice. We are not licensed finance professionals. We just take what we know and try to share it with the community. But if you're having trouble getting your credit score, having troubles fixing your credit score, getting it to go up and whatnot, if you have a loved one who is responsible with money, who may have a credit card, let's say they don't use a lot, and they're responsible with it, they make the payments, they keep their credit usage below 30%, like you said, you can ask them to become a, I think it's what's called a certified user
Hmm.
on their credit card, but not actually use their credit card. So when you do that, I think they can give the creditor your name, and I think it's only like a social security number or something like that, and you become an authorized user on that
Authorized
credit
user.
card. They You will be affected by the usage of their credit card, which means if they don't use it a lot and if they're responsible, your credit can slowly go up as they're making payments or you're helping them make payments and whatnot, and you're not touching their credit card. They're not letting you use the credit card, they're not giving it to you. But say your kids, you have older kids who are establishing credit and whatnot. If you make them authorized users on your credit card, but you don't actually let them use it and you just remain responsible with it, their credit will go up along with your credit. I don't know if it's weighted, if they split up, the benefits of y'all credit scores going up, but you can be an authorized user on someone else's credit card to help boost your credit score overall.
Facts.
Um, G, I know we've been talking a lot, and you was getting your thoughts together. What do you view on? Do you use credit cards? Have you had experience with credit cards? What are your experience with credit?
I used to use credit cards. I stopped a long time ago. I just paid them. I had two. I paid them off, and I don't really use them as much anymore. I see the dangers of it. So after I learned and got my head, cracked open once, I said, bro, I'm good at. I'm the type of dude. I just know shooting. All I need is one time to show me. I ain't gonna do it again. So I see it and I left it alone. So I've chosen just to leave them alone and maybe go to credit a different route. Doing it through businesses. I've chosen to go that route. So I'm in the midst of doing that, so I can be able to use it to maybe borrow it under a company instead of borrowing under my name. I think that's a lot smarter. I've seen how it's been beneficial to a lot smarter individuals. I've been watching and seeing how there's many more advantages of doing that, because the difference between you trying to take money from me and my personal, or try to sue me or do whatever, where I could just do it against a company and hey, it won't hurt as much. So
limit that liability.
Trying to
And
space
it come with
myself
higher
away from as
limits
possible.
too.
So that's my real take on it. I mean, shoot, we all have misused a lot of credit cards. From a lot of us, when you're younger and you don't know, what you're doing. But as you get more knowledgeable in the game of credit, I know what not to do and what to do, and I'll go ahead and eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before I go ahead and spend that money on that credit card for a dinner or movies or whatever. Now, so it's worth it in the end for me, despite the advantages of using it and you being happy in that moment, but when that bill come around, you ain't as happy anymore. So I felt that I ain't doing that again. So I leave him alone, man. It's a game. It's a game. It's a Ponzi scheme to me. It's playing around with you, man.
It is.
I
It
just be
is.
looking at it. It don't make no sense. Especially when you look at the numbers. I mean, y'all, what? America is billions of dollars in debt, but you got the nerve to give me a
Trillions.
credit score, and I'll be like, bro, y'all ain't gonna trick me into nothing. No, I'm good. I'll just wait till next paycheck. I'll wait. That's how I'll be thinking.
Yeah, and then they don't even do anything with the money, G. They just pocket it and make
Yep.
themselves richer. They don't fix the roads, or
Nope.
whatever our tax money goes to, quote unquote.
That's
It
another
is.
topic.
America is a business in itself. America is a corporation.
It's a corporation.
It's a corporation. One last thing I'm gonna speak on about credit cards. Like I said, do your own research. I have I check my credit score a lot through Credit Karma. I have Experian also, like they said in the video, which can give you your FICO score and all that, which is it's all different. But Credit Karma has some features where they'll give you information on a bunch of different credit cards if you're like trying to find what card fits you based on your needs or your lifestyle. I would encourage you get a credit card that offers some kind of cashback rewards, like Trey mentioned. My credit card currently gets little percentages back, but it adds up over time. It's like creating a little nest egg for you. And also just be aware with credit cards of annual fees or anything like that, because you'll think like, say, American Express. I mean, I think their top of the line credit cards have like annual fees of like $295, and the highest one like $695. So you'll be thinking, my credit card paid off, I ain't got nothing going on, and at the end of your fiscal year, you see a charge of $695. I'm like, where'd that come from? Like they do have annual fees, so they making their money any way they can, man. They making money off the interest, and then they just hitting you with, well, we letting you use our shit, so yeah, you gotta pay us this amount every year. So just be aware, do your own research, and just be responsible with credit cards. Like us, I said that was the last thing. It's not the last thing. I use credit cards more now because the way I get paid is like I get one large lump sum monthly, so I really had to learn how to budget and control my spending, because I don't have that money coming week to week. It comes at the end of the month. So I use credit cards now for like maybe my monthly spending outside my bills. I try to like use my credit card to like pay my rent and stuff, but if you use your credit card, they charge like a $50 fee just to pay your rent.
Fee. What the fuck?
Yeah, they don't, because they do that because they don't. It's actually more beneficial to use your credit card than maybe perhaps your debit card, but they don't want you benefiting. So They charge a fee to use credit. So to pay my rent, I just make a ACH transaction right from my bank account. But I have some smaller bills that I put on my credit card every month because I also use I allow myself maybe let's say $250 to $300 a week for 4 weeks out the month. So I know outside of my bills, that's how much money I have to spend on groceries and gas. And if I want to go out to eat or anything, I have to do it out of that budget. So I will spend that money throughout the month, keeping track of what I'm spending, and then when I get paid every month, I just take that sum and put it back on the credit card. So I'm not falling behind or putting myself in more credit card debt. That's all I have. I mean, I'm gonna get my pen and pad before we start the next topic because Trey speaking has brought up so many topics we could talk about and research and share with the community. Like I said last episode, we're gonna talk about finances more. So I'll leave it on my shoulders. I want to learn first and then share with the community what I learned. So we'll be talking about more finances. We got more financial topics coming up. More so financial mindsets, but we got more topics coming later in this show. So y'all be responsible with credit cards. Don't use it out of emotion and for your instant gratification. Use it smartly, use it to your advantage, use it to make your life better, and not just keep you on a hamster wheel forever.
There you go.
You're a victim.
There we go, CSI.
Yes, that shit funny.
Very true. Very true. Very true, man. Very true.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I'll let you go, pause.
I violated.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, but I'll let you go, pause.
The dude name was Super Hot Fire. I guess I didn't say fire. My bad. Sundays, I always get caught slipping on Sundays because I ain't in my right mind. So.
I'm glad you came up with this. Get drowned in that debt, and then it's hard for us to get out of it as you get older.
Yeah, experience is the best teacher, but some of us aren't the best students, so.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Not bad topic, man. Very good, very good. We need to hear that. Young boys need to hear that for real.
Yeah.
Young boys, y'all need to learn it early. Very early.